One of the things we have to look at is feedback. Now, we've discussed feedback before. We actually discussed feedback back in chapter 1. And if you remember the transactional model of communication, one of the things that was on there was feedback. Now, Floyd defines feedback in chapter 1 as the verbal or nonverbal response to a message. And that's feedback. Okay, another way to say that, another way to put that is the way you see up on the screen right now, which says that feedback is returning or giving back to others our reactions to the verbal and nonverbal messages we received from them. So a question that might come up is feedback given both verbally and nonverbally? The answer to that would be, of course, yes. Just like we send message verbally and nonverbally, we provide feedback verbally and non-verbally. So, in order to enhance our knowledge of feedback, we have to expand a little bit here. So what I want to look at is the type of feedbacks that we have. And there's two particular that you really need to be aware of. The first type of feedback is evaluative feedback. And even under evaluative feedback, there are two types of feedback that you're going to receive. The first one, or give, okay? The first one is, of course, positive evaluative feedback. Now, think about the statement, or what it says, positive evaluative feedback. Two things are going to happen. One, the feedback that you're going to give or receive is going to be positive. But there's going to be some form of evaluation involved. An example might be when your child, if you have a child, does something really good, something you're really proud of, scores a soccer goal. So you may say to that child, way to go, that was really good. It's positive because you have a positive tone in your voice. It's evaluative when you use the term good. You are putting some evaluation to it. The other type of evaluative feedback is negative evaluative feedback. When we are providing negative evaluative feedback, one of the things we want to do, one of our goals, so to speak, is we want to stop those undesirable communicative behaviors. They are doing something that we are not comfortable with. Okay? So, maybe you're speaking to someone, and while they're speaking to you, they're using a lot of language that you're not real comfortable with. Okay? Maybe they're telling you an off-color joke. So, what you say to them is, you know what? I really wish you wouldn't say that because I find that a little bit offensive, and I'm afraid that others will find it offensive too. So what you're trying to get them to do is to stop the communicative behaviors that you find, this isn't really what I want to be involved in. So you're giving them that feedback, or they're giving it to you. The other type of feedback is non-evaluative feedback. This is the feedback that is used when we want to get more information or to help others work through their feelings. The key here is we are not being evaluative in any way whatsoever. According to Floyd, when you're listening rather than speaking, your nonverbal behaviors communicate your interest, understanding, and empathy for the speaker. Think about that. Let's go back a little bit to the listening chapter. One of the types of listening is empathic listening. So there's the connection between the two. It's non-evaluative. When you are trying to connect with that other person on a feelings level, you cannot be evaluative or they're going to shut down. So a form of non-evaluative feedback, an example, could be you keep eye contact with them. Every once in a while, you may shake your head yes. Okay? You're in agreement with them. You're telling them, okay, I want to hear more. A common type of non-evaluative feedback, nonverbal, that I use in the classroom is I will do this to my student. I ask them a question, they're answering it, but I want them to give me just a little bit more information. So without saying anything, I roll my hand. And I'm basically telling them non-verbally, give me some more information. You're on the right track, but I want you to be a little more clear. And they respond by giving me more information. Okay, so we've discussed the feedback types, evaluative and non-evaluative feedback. We want to take the time, though, to find other ways of providing feedback, especially non-evaluative, because we're looking for more information. One of the things that we can do in providing feedback is paraphrase. Go back to the Hurrier model and the types of responses that they talk about, and one of those types of responses is paraphrasing. Two types of paraphrase that you should be aware of. The first one is content paraphrase. Now, in content paraphrase, what we are giving back to the other person is our understanding of the message using our words instead of theirs. So, someone comes up to you and says, you know, today is a really nice day and everything has gone real good for me. I'm having one heck of a great day. So, because you want to make sure you got the message right, you may paraphrase that by saying, it sounds to me that what I just heard you say is that everything is going real good for you today. They're probably going to come back and say, you know what, you're right. So that's a content paraphrase. The second type of paraphrase that I want to address with you is the feelings paraphrase. Again, we want to be able to recognize those feelings of the other person. Empathic listening again. So we may say to the other person, what I'm hearing you talk about, and based on everything that you just said, I feel that you're really sad about this. Am I correct? Allow them to tell you whether you're right or not. But it's those feelings that you're hearing, it's those feelings that you're seeing in their nonverbal cues that you're responding to. Okay? Other type of non-evaluative feedback is probing. Now, in probing, again, what are you trying to find? More information. So one of the things that you want to do when you're probing is you want to be specific about what information you're looking for. So the question that you ask is going to be very specific. And you want to keep it an open-ended question, okay? So in other words, you may say something like, well, what exactly did your child do to get you angry? You also notice I used a full sentence. I used a complete sentence. Is it important? Of course it is. This way, the clarity on the other person is there. They understand what you're asking. They understand the information that you're trying to get. The other thing is, monitor the person's nonverbal feedback. That is very important. I know you've read about or talked about the nonverbal feedback and the nonverbal cues. So take a look at them. Read them. Keep your eyes on the person who is speaking. This way you can see if they're confused by your feedback. And really, you might be able to respond a little bit quicker. Always, and I think I have to stress this, always place the burden of ignorance on your shoulders. If someone is coming to you with the problem, do you really know everything that already went on? Or do you only have some of the information? Because maybe what you may be doing is you're the go-between between two people, but you've only heard one side of the story. Do not assume that that's the only side there is. So therefore, when you go talk to the other person, act as if you know nothing. Let them give you the information. Don't try to cut them off. Don't try to finish their sentences for them, because then you may not be getting the entire information that they have to offer you, which could, in effect, allow you to make a better decision. Okay? So that was probing and paraphrasing. Other types of non-evaluative feedback would be supportive feedback. You are supporting the person in whatever it is that they may be doing.